Alright, so Laki, I try not to make this too long. You know, through the Spirit, though, you just start hitting them precepts. But basically, perfection is the quality or state of being perfect, right? And perfect is being entirely without fault or defect. So, the moon, in its perfection, would come full circle, right? So, to become perfect, you got to start from imperfection, come to perfection, and in its perfection, it decreases, right? So there's a starting point, which would be the new point, right? So from holding the new moon, it's when it's pure black. That's a new moon, and then you'll have a sliver, right? We used to call it God's thumbnail, right? It's just a little sliver. That's gonna be. You got new moon, which is your new month, which is day one of your new month, and you follow this new moon, and then you get day one. Day one is the sliver. Salaki, new moon's day one. Then you get the sliver, day two, right? Now, every 7 days is your Sabbath. So, from the new moon, you'll have day 1, new moon, and then 7 days later is day 8. That's going to be not a full moon, a half moon. So your first Sabbath will be a half moon, right? Now, midway through your month is day 15. Because 8 plus 7 more days is day 15. That's going to be a full moon, right? Which is your second Sabbath, right? Now, 7 more days after that would be, it's going to be this way, a half moon, right? So which is going to be 22nd, right? And you can't go according to Esau's calendar. You can't go according to the Gregorian calendar, which has 31 days. This is a Hebrew calendar. You're going to have to follow the new moon, which you can Google, new moon calendar. From that new moon, it's going to be day 1. Now you're going to count from day 1, 7 days, which is going to be day 8, first Sabbath. 7 more days, day 15, your full moon, that's a Sabbath. So if you follow the moons and you say, oh, there's half a moon, it's a Sabbath, right? Boom, new moon, Sabbath, 7 more days. Boom, half a moon on the other side, Sabbath, day 22. Then day 28 is going to be another new moon. Salaki, another, that's 7 more days. That would be your Sabbath, right? And then 2 days later is your new moon. Because, remember, the Lord made it 30 days a month. So every new moon is a new month, right? So following that, you would have your new moon, which I hold it as a feast day, right? You can't clean, you can't buy, you can't sell, but you can cook and eat. Sabbath day on the 8th, Sabbath day, no cooking, cleaning, buying, selling. 15th, full moon, no cooking, cleaning, buying, selling. 22nd, no cooking, cleaning, buying, selling. And some brothers hold the 28th day as a transitioning day, going into a new moon, right, on the 30th. Some brothers hold it as a 7th-day Sabbath day, right? So that would give you 4 Sabbaths and then your new moon. Every month you have a new moon. So you have 4 Sabbaths, new moon, 2 days later, right? And that's how you follow the 30-day Hebrew calendar with the new moon with the new moon. Now, feast days fall usually on the 15th, on a full moon. If you look, the Passover, the 15th, right? A lot of these, what we got going on, let's see, our high holy day of Esther is the 14th and 15th. So tomorrow would be the day 13, which is Thursday, which is the, we're in the month of Adar, the 12th month, right? And we're going to get that. 12th month of Adar. And on the 13th day is the day of Nicanor, right? The day Maccabees cut his head off. The Lord delivered our enemies into our hands. He put that on a spear, like you see in all these barbarian movies. That was us. You know, the Lord fought for us, and He told us when we got to take out these evils, right? And He's still gonna fight for us. We hold this day because we are commanded to hold this day. Right, so that would be tomorrow. And I'm going to bring it out for you. Like I said, our new moon fell on a Saturday, Sunday. Some brothers had it fall on a Friday, Saturday this month. Now, you go to 2 Maccabees 15:36. And you're going to find the day of Nicanor. So 2 Maccabees, last chapter, verse 36, it says, "And they ordained all with a common decree, in no case to let that day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 13th day of the 12th month." So we in the 12th month. So next month is going to be Passover. Right? So we celebrating the day of Nicanor tomorrow, right? It says, which in the Syrian tongue is called Adar. Okay, so in the Syrian tongue, the 12th month is called Adar. The day before Mardochius Day, I don't know what that is. I'm sure you can Google it, right? And it says, verse 37. Oh, Salaki. "Thus went it with Nicanor, and from that time forth the Hebrews had the city in their power, and here will I make an end." Right? So that's how we know what day we celebrate the day of Nicanor. "And I've done well." Finish story. Right? So we keep it as a feast day. It's a feast day, you know, a high holy day. You turn up, you know, you eat, feast, sip some yan, you know, read some scriptures, and meditate on the Lord. The Lord delivered our enemies, His enemy, into our hands, His people's hands, and we are to celebrate it. That's what makes us separate and holy from these other nations. They celebrate, you know, their wars, that they have overcome us as a people. That's what Thanksgiving is. That's what 4th of July is. The slaughtering, the stealing of the land and the people. So we celebrate the days originally that the Lord had given us and put the enemy in our hands. Right? This is our days. Right? We would know who we are in the land, you know, we would remember the Lord in our captivity, it says. You know, and those who dwell with the Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, know this to be true. So it says, "My sheep hear my voice." The complete understanding, that it says knowledge will grow in these end times. That's what's happening, right? Now, Salaki, day of Purim, right? You can go in Esther chapter 9. And 21. Right? So 9 and 21, it says, where are we at? Salaki, one second. How's it? See, the rest of Esther is in the Apocrypha. But you go to... See, in Esther, the book of Esther is also about delivering us from our enemies. You know, and that's what time we're in. Salaki, I gotta find the book of Esther. Right, that's what time we in. The Lord delivering us from our enemies. Right, she got all beautified for the king. Right, you can read the story, just like Nicanor. Read Maccabees. You know, it's between first Maccabees and second Maccabees. You can Google the day of Nicanor. You know, and some other camps like IUIC, you can click on their page. You can go within, click on the High Holy Days, and they have the scriptures where you can read and just sum up the day and what happened. You know what I mean? What happened on why we celebrate those days. You know, so Esther. So you want to read Maccabees? Like I said, jump on the brothers' pages and look it up. You know. Now, do they use the Lord's name? No, they don't say the Paleo Hebrew. You know, and the Lord's name is not to be blasphemed or played around with, as we know in the Ten Commandments, right? But they do have breakdowns and very informative information on these high holy days. 9 and 21, it says, to establish this among them, that they would keep the 14th day of the month of Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly. Right? So again, month of Adar, 12th month. 14th day and 15th day. Like I said, the 15th is going to be our Sabbath. Remember? Sabbath 15th. So it's going to be a full moon. Again, that's going to be day of Esther. And the day prior. So it's going to fall on... Remember, our days is from sundown to sundown. So Friday to Saturday evening to Sunday evening. Day of Esther, right? And Salaki, Purim. This is called the day of Purim, right? And it says, as the days were, and this is verse 22, as the days were, Esther chapter 9, verse 22, as the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and sending portions one to another and gifts to the poor. That's our Christmas, day of Purim. The Lord had turned our day of sorrows into joy, right? Mourning into feasting. Mourning into a good day, that they should make days of feasting and joy. So, and sending portions, so we send food to one another. You know, we help the poor of our people. Right? Now, go back into Ecclesiasticus. It says, be mindful of who you help. Right? Because then you get double the evil. But someone who's not, not doing so well, and the Spirit's dwelling on them, trying to make it through hard times, it might help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? Thus said the Lord. Everything, nothing on our own accord anymore. We've learned you don't want to jump back into a frying pan. That's why be patient, and patience possess your souls, it says, right? Woo. My book is getting shredded. That's good, huh? Alright, so let's see. Again, Sirach, chapter Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse cleave unto him. Wait a minute. See, I get Ecclesiastes. confused, right? So it says, my servants, might have been 22. Be mindful who you help, right? Just because it said I want to go into it. Because it says if you help the wicked, then you'll double your wickedness, you know. We don't want that. Or wicked will come back to you. Be careful who you help, KJV. 12:1, 12:1, Salaki. It is Sirach, but it's 12. Because, you know, we in the spirit, we want to help our people. But you got to be mindful. Some people, they're going to throw it towards smoking, drugs, whoremongering, alcohol, guns, weapon, come back, kill your ass. You know, put the city to whoredom. You know, put drugs in our little children's faces. So it says Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 12, verse 1. When thou wilt do good, know who thou does it, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. For the Most High hated sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Give unto the good, and help not the sinner. Boom. Help not the sinner, right? Who's the ones that's sinning? Well, the Lord gave Jacob the commandments, so our people is sinning because sin is transgression.